Okay, so I just had a look through some of your litmus paper indicator tests or experiments. So they're very good, and you seem to have gotten the idea. I know it's kind of crappy doing it from a video, but like I said, we will get in and do it. I noticed looking at a few of yours that it was like you were unclear as to whether something was an acid or a base, or like you'd left it blank, or you'd say taken Coke and you ticked that it was both acidic and basic, little things like that. So I suppose any discrepancies in your table, it will give us a really good opportunity to make sure that we test those the next day. So whenever I'm back in and we do our kind of full experiment week, I might get you to nearly bring in your own products so that you're testing stuff that relates to what you want to test. Does that make sense? But generally speaking, I think you got the idea of the litmus paper and the colour it turns when it's in an acid and when it's in a base. And I was kind of annoyed that she didn't do water. You should always do a control in an experiment. So we will definitely do water so that you will have a neutral one. Okay, so today we're going to look at universal indicator. So remember, indicators are chemicals that show whether a substance is an acid or a base. So litmus paper is great. It will tell you if something is an acid or a base, but it's limited, okay? Where a universal indicator can go a step further, and it can indicate what strength acid and base it is. Okay, it actually gives you, it relates to this pH scale, okay? So universal indicator is a mixture of dyes that change to different colours according to how strong the acid or base is, okay? So that needs to go into your notes. And that's what makes it, I suppose, better than litmus paper, is that it doesn't just tell you this is an acid, this is a base. It actually tells you this is a strong acid, this is a weak acid, this is a moderate acid, this is a strong base, so on and so forth, okay? It has a range of colours, and it gives you a value on the pH scale. Okay, so here's the pH scale here, and it kind of outlines it here. Okay, so 0, now I don't like the way it's just, my maths brain doesn't like this. It's kind of 0 up to 6.9 is an acid. Okay, so less than 7, you're talking about acidic. You can see here right down the bottom, pH 1, pH a half, those kind of numbers down here. That's highly acidic. And then as you move, I don't know why that's happening, as you move in this direction, you're going more towards neutral. Okay, and then moving into, they're talking about alkaline here, so into the bases over on this side. Okay, 7 is neutral. Pure water has a pH of almost 7. And then like that above 7, so from 7.1 up to 14 is an alkali or a base. Okay, and again, the higher you go in this direction, the stronger that base is. Oh, I think it's staying there, I just can't see it. Anyway, so you can measure pH. So you can use a pH meter. We do have one of those, so I can show you how that works. Actually, just might add that in here. No, where's my experiment list? Using universal indicator. Okay, so we'll set it up with a pH meter as well, just so I don't forget. So pH meter is a way to do it where it's actually digital. So you have a probe and you stick the probe into the liquid and then you get a number. So like whatever, 8.2, but it's a digital readout. Then you have your universal indicator. Now there's 2 ways of doing this. So the first way is with universal indicator paper, and the second way is universal indicator liquid. And again, I'm pretty sure we have both, so we can try both. So universal indicator paper works very like the litmus paper, where you dip it in and it will take a colour. So it might be kind of bluey purple, which would put you up here, or it might be reddy orange, which would put you down here. Okay, it just, rather than just going red or blue, it can go an assortment of different colours. And then the liquid, you just take up with a little dropper, drop it in, and the entire liquid changes colour. Okay, so as opposed to just a testing paper, you have the whole liquid changing colour. So it's like, it's kind of 3, oh my God, apparently I can't count. And it's 3 ways of doing the same thing. Okay? Now, is this the video I want you to do? Hang on. No, it's not. So I must have it in here. Sorry, I have another video. Yeah, here, similar to what we did for the litmus paper. Okay, so I want you to write this up again. Same thing. So what is the pH of a variety of household substances? So here we're not just testing acidic or basic. We want to know the actual pH, or as best as we can do it. Here's the equipment needed. So again, universal indicator or pH paper, test tubes, variety of household substances. This is your step-by-step guide. The diagram is pretty simple. And then this guy here is going to go through a number of substances. So you'll need to listen to what the substance is and then write down the pH. So you'll be creating a table for your results, quite a simple table with substance and pH, and you'll have, I don't say water and a pH of 7. Next thing, and what your pH is. Okay, so here you won't necessarily, I mean, you could, if you wanted to, you could add another one where you decide if it's like acid or base, but I don't think that's necessary. I mean, I think if you understand the pH scale and you tell me that it has a pH of 2, I know that that's acidic. Okay, so I don't think that's necessary. I think what you have here is absolutely fine. Okay, so I'd like you to have a look through, watch that video and create your experiment. And I'd like you to upload that to Schoology as well, please. And then I'm going to get you to look at this, right? This is quite cool. I just opened it tonight. Okay, so this is FET. If for any reason the link isn't working, I know what happened before that the link wasn't working. I gave this to like first year maths class last year or something and the link wasn't working. See this, the thing up here, PHET? So if you Google FET and go in, you can see here it's called acid-base solution. So when you go on, I'll do it here. So if you go on to FET, I've obviously searched it before, but if you just Google it, it'll come up. And then you can see down the side here. So if you just click chemistry, and then you should, here, it's actually the first one because it's A, acid-base solutions. Okay, so if you can't, if the link won't work, you can find it anyway, right? And this is cool. I want you to just have a little kind of play with this. So it says here that this is water. Okay, and what I have here is a pH meter. Okay, so if I dip it in, it tells me the pH is 7, right? Now I can switch to paper and dip it in, and you can see if you compare that that's 7. Okay, and then a strong acid, so we go with pH meter first, dip it in, I'm getting 2 as my reading. And if I switch to the paper and compare it, you can see there how well it compares to 2. So just have a look through this and see can you can you try the pH meter, and it goes on to do like conducting of electricity, because acidic substances conduct electricity, but all you're worrying about is the pH meter and the universal indicator paper. Okay, so that's just kind of a cool little animation that you can use to try and get those. Is that okay? So that experiment will be up on an assignment on Schoology, so if you do your experiment and upload it, that would be great. Have a lovely weekend.